All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel. Say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man and Loggin TV. And let's get started. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so and hitting that notification bell. And it looks like, and it is, a video about pins. Let's talk pins, guys. So, as you know, this is not going to be a review. This is going to be more like an overview of pins. There's a lot of pins on here. Some of them are mine. Some of them come from Freak Show EDC. And we're just going to talk about different pins. Now, this is not going to be a recommendation video either because everybody likes something a little bit different. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on these pens, and then you can make your own decision based on what you prefer. So you guys know, you have seen, if you've been following the channel for any time at all, I carry predominantly these two pens. This is a Refine EP1 in copper bolt action pen. This is a Parker Jotter London Skyline edition, which is just, I mean, it has held up so well. And I carry this one a ton. Top click pen. And then these, I'm sorry, is my son's pen that was given to him by Kevin, Lefty EDC. This is also a Refine EP1 in, I believe they call this stonewash, or not stonewash, satin finished copper, titanium. And the focus is just all over the place in this video, and I'm really sorry for that. So I guess it can't focus on pens very well. But there we go. Those are the three that come from in-house. Now, these three are from Jeremy Freak Show EDC. Now, this first one is a tactile turn, and I believe, let me go back and look real quick, but I believe they called this one the Mini. That is correct, a 4.4 inch. Now, they have in this version right here, in the bolt action for tactile turn, they have a titanium, a copper, a bronze, and a zirconium. And they have a standard size, which is this one right here. And they have in between a short size. So the standard is 5.6 inches. The short is 5.1 inches. And the mini is 4.4 inches. So that is kind of what you have there. So these are two, and he has anodized this one in blue. And then the last one here is a side click tactile turn in the standard size. So that's what we've got. Now, the Refine EP1s, this is the size of the pen. Okay, if you get an EP1, it's going to be in this size. They do have it in a bunch of different trims. I've seen it in, let's see what we got here. We've got it copper, PVD coated stainless steel. They have it in titanium, in brass, and yeah, the black coated. I already said that. So they have it in several different, but they're all this same size. And the Parker Jotter is the Parker Jotter. Now, we're not going to talk about ink refills, although I think there's some interesting things to be said about that. You know what? I just said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. I personally prefer a Parker ballpoint in some of my pens. Now, this is a blue one, and it does really well. But in others, I have a Schmidt's. Let's see. I believe this one is a Schmidt, if I remember correctly. Yep, Schmidt's Easy Flow, and I like that. The thing is, I don't want ink. I'm like anybody else. I don't want ink that's going to run all over. I don't want ink that's going to run all over, but at the same point, I like it to be bold. I don't want to feel like I've got to press down really hard to get enough ink out. So it just depends on what you like. I would say get you 2 or 3 different refills because they're pretty inexpensive. As a matter of fact, I think Jeremy has in these, if I can get one open, he has Pilot refills in these. So there's plenty. Yeah, Pilots. That's got to be what this is. Yep, that's a Pilot. So I think this one's a Pilot. It doesn't really say, to be honest with you. Yep, there it is. It does say Pilot. And I dropped the spring. Wonderful. Hey, Jeremy, I'll find your spring in a second. So we're not going to play with the action on this one because I just dropped the spring in the floor. Oh, Lordy. So you guys, there you go. There are a bunch of different options. Now, all the tactile turn pens are going to be, first of all, one of the important things is they've got this. Let's see if I can pick it up on camera. There you go. You've got this really cool ringed milling in these pins, okay? So they're not smooth. They have a milling in them that allows you to get a really good grip in them. Whereas the refined pins are very smooth, okay? Now they're roughed up a little bit in the texture, at least on that one. The copper is a little smooth, you know, and then the Parker Jotter is smooth as well, except you got a little bit of grip on this London Skyline one here. So, you know, that's really the big difference. Now, the tactile turn pins, at least in the bolt action, no, in both, in the bolt action and the side click, are right at $100. The tactile turn pins kind of depend on the material. Now, of course, the same thing goes for the tactile turn. If you go for the zirconium one, let's just see, for example, the zirconium one goes up to $249. The bronze one is $100. The copper one's $100. And the titanium one is $100. Now, they have a titanium Damascus version that is $120. So I think that's really interesting. And that doesn't matter which size you get. Those are the same. Now, the refined pins, you know, run anywhere from $39 for the PVD coated one, $49 for the copper and brass, and $69 for the titanium. And they're all the same size. The Parker Jotter, you know what? I forgot to call it up, but I think these are around $25 to $30, depending on which one you get. And again, it's just a really simple pen. So it depends on what you're looking for. Now, if you're looking for a really refined, really, you know, fancy looking pen, these guys are great. Now, I do want to do a quick comparison here between the refined pens and the tactile turn. Now, the tactile turn ones are a little bit thicker around. You can feel it. You can see it right there. They're definitely a bigger diameter. And you can see the bolt is much larger on the tactile turn. The refined bolt is very small and it's up higher. You can see it's up higher. Let's go to this guy. See how the bolt is A, bigger, and B, further down on the pen. So I actually like that because the bolt doesn't get in my way because it's higher and it's smaller. The other thing I would like to note is I would never get the standard size tactile turn for me. They're a little big for a shirt pocket. They will not go, it sat about right here on the pocket clip and just barely hung on for dear life on a shirt pocket. Now, if you put it in a pants pocket, it should be fine. But I carry my pens in a shirt pocket because I'm a nerd. You got to. I'm an engineer. I'm a nerd. So I prefer, you know, that to be a little bit smaller. So I would either get the small or the mini in the tactile turn. Although the mini, again, that bolt ends up being so far down, it's a little, you know, dependent on how you're holding the pen. But again, up to you. Now, I will say this. I really like these feel really lightweight. Now, so does the titanium, you know, refined EP1. The copper is a little bit heavier and can cause it to bog down in the shirt. But I love the way it feels when I'm writing. So I go back and forth. So again, this is why this is really not a recommendation video. It's more of just me spouting off about pens and then hopefully in the comments getting your opinion. Now, I will say the most lightweight, most narrow, most comfortable pen in the hand on the table is the Parker Jotter. It just is. It is clean and easy and simple at its best, and it feels wonderful in the hand, and it is a great writer. Now, all of the tactile turn pens feel great for writing. You know, again, these standard size do feel a little large to me. That's just all. That's all. The mini feels good in the hand. Again, as long as you keep that bolt away from you. And, you know, the refined pens feel really good when you're writing. So again, you can't really go wrong with anything on the table here. there are some phenomenal pens on the table. And I know there's other options. There's Hinderer Investigator pens. There's the Zebra pens. There's Benchmade pens. There's Olight pens. There's pens all over the place. These are just the ones I have available to me right now. And again, I know I'm all over the place. I will leave a link to the Parker Jotter. I will leave, if I can find one, I will leave a link to the Tactile Turn pens, and I will leave a link to the Refined pens so you guys can kind of do some research. Now, one more thing real quick. I didn't really talk much about the side click, mostly because the awesome spring fell in the floor, so I can't really show you the action, but basically you click it down, and then to disengage, you click this button, and it's really cool the way that works. It is very fidgety, which, by the way, guys, I didn't really talk about that. These bolt action pens are great for fidgeting and having fun, but don't do it in front of your wife because she won't care for it, or ladies, your husband. Again, they're both very fidgety, easy to manipulate, very, very cool as long as you don't like mess up. But and this guy, same way, click, 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 and it's just really, really great. And the same thing with the Parker Jotter. So there you go. This is this is going to be a 12-minute video on pens, which is really great. Again, by the way, the side clicks are also $100 for the bronze, the copper, and the titanium. And the zirconium one is $249, and there is a new GT seasonal release that is $149 with that really cool blue and orange look. Check it out. I'll have a link to it. Oh, I see the spring. It's actually in my slipper. So hold on, because we need to see the side click at work, guys. That's great. I'm glad it landed in my slipper because now I don't feel worried that I'm going to lose Jeremy's spring like I tried to lose Kevin's screw to the stout in the floor the other night. I was worried to death, so I'm glad I found it, and it is back in. All right, so now you get, I'm sorry, I'm such a goofball, guys. There you go. So, again, very, very fidgety. I love the way this works. Yeah, I mean, my wife would kill me if I kept sitting here doing this over and over again, but it is really good. They all write well. Again, you can use all kinds of different refills in these pens. Just really great pens. Let me know what you guys think. What do you carry? What kind of pen do you carry? Do you just carry some, Bic pen or Papermate or something? Let me know what you carry. Let me know what you prefer size-wise. Again, you heard from me. I prefer the smaller ones in these. Very, very much so. All the way around. Just totally prefer the smaller ones than the larger ones. And that goes for the Parker Jotter as well. Just all of those sizes. My preference, but again, maybe you like the bigger ones. That's fine. So just let me know what you think. And now it's a 13-minute video, so we're going to wrap it up. This is not Knives Fast. This is Pens Slow. But give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this crazy rambling video. And thank you so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.